In the aftermath of Arman redeeming his number one spot and securing, or at least we think, secured his title shot, Ilia is not making it that easy. He has just come out and reiterated in fact, that he wants to fight Paddy Pimblett. And if not Paddy, he would rather fight Islam Makhachev for the welterweight title or a made-up pound-for-pound title. Two fights that don't really make any sense, and it just doesn't matter. He doesn't want to fight Arman. He's made this very clear, not only now, but also in the past, where he said, quote, "I'm never going to give him a chance to fight for the title. I will be like, listen, if that's the case, take my belt, I don't do it," unquote. Now, do I think he will turn down the Arman fight if it gets presented in front of him? I don't think so. I really don't think Ilia's scared of Arman. Even though his own words might contradict that, I think if the UFC actually gives him the offer, he will take it. That might be wishful thinking, but I believe he will. That's what I believe. But I don't blame anybody for saying that the guy's scared of Arman, because he's definitely given off that impression. And Arman's been calling him out. Arman's been calling out everybody except, people talk about the Gamrot thing before. Well, regardless, he wanted to fight Dan Hooker, Paddy Pimblett, any top contender at the time, including the champion, and nobody wanted to fight him except Hooker, who called him out. So Hooker deserves a lot of respect for that. This guy is one of the toughest matchups in the division. And he's not going to just lay and prey on top of you. He's not trying to stall the fight. He is the sort of fighter who will ground and pound you into an oblivion and choke you out if the submission presents itself. One of the most exciting wrestlers in a time where wrestlers are definitely unfavored. Arman is like the beacon of light for that style. But there is one very interesting complication here. Paddy said last month that he was given a contract to fight Ilia Topuria, and he was waiting on Ilia to sign it. But today, Ilia contradicted that by saying he was never offered anything and has yet to talk to the UFC about his next matchup. Something is afoot. One of these two are lying about the fight, or someone lied to Paddy Pimblett. Who knows, but Ilia did talk about Arman since he beat Dan Hooker, and it was about him apparently slapping Arman when they met each other. He was greeting Arman, but told everybody that it was a slap and that Arman froze up like a terrified duck. If that's a slap, then what did he do to Merab? Merab, fight back, Merab. So the embrace wasn't actually a greeting gesture, it was a single collar on the left side, and then Stockton slap with the right hand. So Arman was mistaken. Ilia was actually fighting him in that scenario. No, but honestly, it does seem like Ilia might be trying to get in Arman's head. That's what I took away from this post, even though it's funny that he's conflating a slap with a friendly gesture, but I think it's pretty obvious that he's doing it purposefully. Arman has something to say about that whole ordeal.
Did you see Ilia in Qatar? Did you see him at all?
Personal, no.
No. What is this clip that he posted of your interaction? When is that from?
He's such a bullshitter. He just came, hugged me, and then he's saying this is a slap. If it was a slap, I'm not man anymore. If he slapped me while I'm laughing, what are you talking about? I could kill him there right away. Like,
where is that, at the PI?
Nothing is no for us. If you someone slap you, if you didn't do anything, you're not man. You're bullshit. You're zero in this life. You gotta forget about you're UFC fighter, or you're working, or you can get to the jail. You gotta slap it back and just I don't want to talk about that.
How long ago was that? Because you look much different. You're much younger there. Your hair is different. Your beard. So this is a couple years ago.
Oh no! It was in June in the backup. I was in backup, and he came say, "Hi, bro. How are you? This media thing is just for the media. Hug me." And then he started talking shit after that. I said, "Bro, you're such a fake guy. And the person, you're behaving like a good friend, not friend, like a good guy, and on the Twitter you starting talking shit." I said, okay, I'm not fake like you. He's in the live one person, in the social media another person. I don't want to be fake. I'm real. If I want to say something to you, I'll say the same thing,
Maybe he's trying to get Arman upset on purpose, already playing some mental warfare with his future opponent. So this is what Ilia had to say. Quote, "Arman, every time we see each other in person, you freeze up like a scared duck with no idea what to do. You know I handle you however I want. I fight whoever the UFC chooses, and remember, I slapped you and you just laughed. Then you go around acting like a gangster. So keep going, you're on the right path, just a few levels below me, kid." Unquote. Yeah, it definitely looks like he's trying to aggravate Arman, and it seems to be working. but at the same time, it doesn't really need much. Dan Hooker took a headbutt to the face because he tried to make Arman flinch. So, yeah, it doesn't take too much to get Arman heated. But this is how Arman responded. Quote, "Bro, you touched my neck like we were taking a family photo, and now you're calling it a slap online? The clip is clear. Your insecurity is even clearer. I don't need to act tough for Twitter. My work is inside the cage. If you want to know what a real slap feels like, I'll be happy to educate you. See you soon, El Pato." Unquote. That's a pretty good response. I expected Arman to be more heated. He's keeping it professional, at least from far away. When they get into those face-offs at the weigh-ins and press conferences, they're going to need to separate these two because he is one to be throwing punches and headbutts when you least expect it. So we'll see, man. Maybe this is the way Ilia is building up the fight. He's trying to get in Arman's head before, accepts the fight, and then continues the mind games afterward. This could be truly a Conor McGregor mental warfare replication because Arman honestly is one of the easier opponents to get a reaction from the mental warfare, but that doesn't always mean that it's going to throw Arman off. Some fighters want their opponent in their head. It can also make them fight better, more motivated, more focused. Like, for an example, when Khabib fought Conor, right? Khabib admitted that Conor got into his head, but that was not good for Conor. But then Conor got in Jose Aldo's head and completely threw him off. So it just depends on the fighter. Now here's Ilia Topuria talking about who he wants to fight next.
Digo, ¿quién quiere combatir Ilia Topuria? Yo, mira, pues tengo a Paddy en la mente. Me gustaría pelear con Paddy si es que no me dejan subir en peso welter para pelear con Islam, porque el combate que realmente me gustaría tener es en contra de Islam en la tercera categoría. Pero bueno, vamos a ver, a lo mejor hago un combate y después en verano hay alguna fecha en la que sí que me dejen subir de categoría y pueda pelear por el tercer cinturón, o se cree un nuevo cinturón llamado el Pound for Pound en un peso pactado en donde nos encontramos los dos y peleamos por ese cinturón de libra por libra.
Pound for pound belt, BMF title. Next, it's the Intercontinental title. Tag team matches get introduced, which would be awesome, actually, on its own, like, spin-off, right? They're not going to do this, of course. I can't say of course, actually. I could be wrong on that because they made the BMF title.
Así que vamos a ver, hay muchísimas opciones, como siempre. Vamos a ver lo que depara el futuro.
That's great. No, it's great, guys. We're going to get Ilia versus Paddy. It's an awesome fight, you know. Totally deserved. I mean, Charles Oliveira and Justin Gaethje beat Michael Chandler to get a title shot. So why can't Paddy Pimblett, you know? It's consistent, right? It'd be awesome. I'm coping just in case they make the fight. I got to be excited about something about it because I don't think the fight is close at all. I think Ilia destroys Paddy. Paddy needs to win more, even though he is the number 5 ranked contender, which could be another coping mechanism for him getting the title shot. Yeah, he's number 5, and a lot of people seem to be appalled at this ranking. But I have an unpopular opinion on this. I know a lot of people might disagree, but it makes sense. Hear me out. Paddy Pimblett being number 5 is somewhat reasonable. When you sit on a ranking and everybody else around you loses or retires or moves a division, it's going to bump you up by default, you know? So Paddy was number 8 in March when he beat Michael Chandler, and that seems deranged. But Islam moved up, he's out of the rankings. Dustin retired, he's out of the rankings. That would naturally put Paddy to number 6. So if he's number 6, I would understand. The only part that I disagree with is Dan Hooker being ranked below him because he was ranked below him before he lost to Arman too. So I don't think Hooker should be below Paddy. Honestly, even still, I mean, he beat Mateusz Gamrot, who's a much bigger win than any of Paddy's. Paddy beat Michael Chandler, Bobby Green, and Tony Ferguson, a run that'd make Jake Paul jealous. It does show an argument that Hooker could be above him, right? But regardless, Paddy being number 5 or number 6, I don't think is too crazy, to be honest. Because it's not an illustration of Paddy being so incredibly good, it more so portrays the shallowness of the lightweight division. Because honestly, look at everyone below Paddy, and there aren't too many that you would rank above him. The truth of the matter is, lightweight is far past its glory days. Gamrot and Hooker have arguments to be above Paddy, but they're both coming off losses. Paddy is on a long win streak. So I honestly think the division has a big cutoff in quality after Max Holloway. Between Max and Gaethje is a huge gap in skill. That's what I think. I don't think Gaethje is even as good as he was when he fought Max. I mean, you know, how can he be? He's taking so much damage. He got knocked out in that fight. Max is still one of the best in the world. I think there is a big cutoff right there. Gaethje, Paddy, Hooker, and Gamrot, I think are all relative. And maybe Benoit Saint Denis is amongst them. You know, of course, I want to reiterate, I don't think Gaethje's in his prime. You know, if this is prime Gaethje, that'd be a different story. But Max, Oliveira, Arman, and Ilia, I believe, are far above as the elites of the lightweight division. But whatever we think of Paddy's skills, Ilia still wants to fight him. And Arman responded to this ridiculous call out.
It's 100% gotta be me. It's no way they can give Paddy Pimblett fight. Everybody gonna laugh at them because I'm number one contender. I proved it again. And what do they want from me, you know? And I went there, performed, just destroyed them Hooker. And they want to put the guy who is fake making rank.
Did you see he moved up to 5 now this morning? Did you see that?
Bro, how you can beat like a number 12 or number 13 and became number 5? I was beating everybody in our division. I beat like 5. I was on the 5 or 6 win streak to get in top 15, you know? And like this guy just beat 6 people and like he's number 5.
Facts, dude. But there is quite a distinction in the lightweight division that Arman had to rise up into versus Paddy's, right? Arman's ascension was during a much tougher lightweight division, whereas Paddy's is in a much more shallow division. Lightweight's not as good as it used to be.
You didn't take a lot of damage tonight. Is there a chance if they said to you, hey, you can fight for the belt, but it has to be in January, could you turn around that fast?
Of course. I can rest 1 week, fly to US and stay there 2 months. It's enough time to get ready. And I didn't get any injured, thank God. And they have to say that. And hopefully on Tuesday they announce that fight and me fighting main event with Topuria when it's going to be in Vegas or in Los Angeles. So I'm ready. I gotta take that chance and I have pretty time to get ready.
What excuse does Ilia have now? Arman is willing to fight him in January. This is the guy who hasn't fought in a year and a half before Hooker. He pulled out against Islam. Well, guess what? He is ready for January. If he makes it. He has to make it to the fight. That's 2 months away. There is no excuse anymore for Ilia to dodge Arman Tsarukyan. He can't take the angle that Arman's gonna wait forever to fight him. I was thinking that maybe they go with Paddy because Arman wouldn't be ready for January. But now that he's ready for January, something that he has reiterated from before the fight as well, we got ourselves a title fight if Ilia takes it. So the ball is now in Ilia's court, and he might run away with it. It's on you, Ilia. Arman's ready. The UFC most likely wants this fight as well. I mean, Dana did say before that the winner of Arman versus Hooker is the number one contender. So
obviously there's a lot of chatter, and we just sort of touched on it about what could be next for Ilia, and people assume he will fight in January when the UFC shifts to Paramount, maybe defending it in the first numbered card. But here's the thing, Arman, we're around 2 months away from this potential fight happening and nothing has been announced yet. So I'm wondering if all goes well for you on Saturday and you put on this great performance, would you be willing to make a quick turnaround to fight Ilia for the belt maybe in January, or would you rather just kind of wait and see how things play out?
No, I don't want to wait. If I perform very well and the UFC said, can you fight in January, I'll take that fight right away.
It appears based on rumor and innuendo that Paddy Pimblett might be the favorite to get that fight. At least he's saying that it's been offered and he said yes, and he's been kind of waiting on Ilia. How would you react if Paddy gets the title shot over you?
I mean, he doesn't deserve to fight for the title. He gotta beat someone from top 5 and like a top fighter, you know, not a guy who has 3 or 4 losses from the last fights.
True, and Paddy should be fighting someone like Justin Gaethje, which Gaethje is honestly like a plague in this division right now, holding up a top spot and not willing to fight anybody except the champion. A fight that he's not going to get, most likely.
It seems like it's either him or Justin Gaethje right now. Or maybe you could throw yourself in the conversation on Saturday. And, you know, I kind of feel like the reason they haven't announced it was to wait and see what you do on Saturday. Perhaps you go in there and win, but do you think Gaethje would have a better case than Paddy, or do you think Paddy has a better case? It kind of depends on how you're looking at it though, right?
I mean, UFC wants Paddy for sure, and they're gonna see how it plays out this Saturday, and then they're gonna figure out who is fighting. But
First thing, yeah.
it's 100% is not Gagey. It's a Paddy or me.
Yeah, that's true. From a business aspect, they're not going to go with Gaethje over Paddy, right? Paddy's a much bigger fight and it makes more money, and ultimately, you know, money talks. But concurrently, you have an undoubted #1 contender ready to fight in January. What is this sport really about? Is it competition or is it entertainment? It's of course a mix of both, but this is the fight that's honestly going to portray what the sport is actually about. Do they go the entertainment route with Paddy Pimblett, or do they go with the toughest matchup and the best fight? Because Ilia and Arman isn't some regular fight. This is a fight between the best in the world. Two explosively exciting fighters who are well-rounded and always eager to get that finish at all times. It's a better fight than Paddy Pimblett and more deserving for everybody. And now regarding that Paramount card, this is supposed to be a big out of the gates barn burner for the first ever Paramount welcoming party, right? And not too long ago, Dana said that it's possible that Ilia is going to be on it. Possible, not guaranteed, of course. And it was rumored before that Ilia versus Gaethje was something that the UFC was interested in. But now we hear from Ilia that he's never actually had official talks for his next fight. Paddy's saying that Ilia has not signed the contract, which also could be a negotiating tactic here from various sides. We do have a daunting update about a potential main event of that card. Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes. It's good. It's a fitting title fight with the best main event ever. Send the signal. Peloton, save us, please. Dude, Alex Pereira versus Carlos Ulberg would be an amazing first fight for the Paramount card. Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes in the co-main event fits perfectly as well. Although I think a better place for them to fight is on the White House event, because Harrison is the only American champion other than Merab. But you know what I'm saying, though. Harrison represents America. She's only representing America. She should be on the White House event. And if Nunes defeats her and then retires, then we are in shambles, my friend. But that'd be a good one, dude. If Alex Pereira is willing to step up like he always has before, it would be a great one. Now, he did have a foot injury, and I don't know how long that's going to take to recover for, but that would be awesome, dude. Unless Merab wants to fight month after month. Yo, he's fighting in December, and it's really looking like Ilia's not going to fight in January. We were all expecting it. It was hinted for so long that Ilia was going to fight there. And it looks like he's not going to. And Arman's ready for it, so I don't know. We'll see. There is a chance he still fights there, but it's only up to him at this point to take the fight. Everybody else seems to be on board. So that is the coverage of all the Ilia Topuria versus Arman Tsarukyan dilemma. Hopefully we get to see it, and by that I mean Ilia takes the fight, and yeah, should be a good one. And honestly, dude, I think Ilia can win, and I'm a big fan of Ilia, but seeing him do all this makes it so difficult to be a fan of his, you know? It's hard to be a fan of a fighter, especially a champion, who says that they don't want to fight a specific contender and calls out the easier matchups instead. I like the champions that are willing to fight anybody, but we'll see. Should be a good one if it happens. And if it's Paddy, it's a first round demolition. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next one.